It's especially one where, I'm not one of those like down with the corporations kind of guy. But I mean, come on, let's face it. Valentine's Day is basically made to sell chocolates and
I love
flowers
that.
and
give me some.
But
that's all I need.
That stuff's all well and good. But the idea that like you would put a really important day in your life on a thing that is basically like it's sort of corporate designed.
Yay! I made it.
The audience will never know the goldfish ASMR chewing they missed out on.
Goldfish. Well, the adventure of taking canvas super quick for her necessities before recording this episode, because of course Austin don't have much time, and he just messaged me to say,
we got a shindig tonight.
Now I have 30 minutes, and I'm like, holy shit. So I basically put on my pants because I was not wearing pants in that moment. And then took canvas super quick outside, and now I came, and because it's like noon and I'm starving and I haven't had a chance to make any food for me, I'm eating what is it called? Cheese fish? I don't know. Goldfish. Yeah, well, fish made of cheese.
So funny to hear you describe it that way. They're like the most mundane sort of snack, for...
I don't know the name, but I like them.
I just love it. What are these fish made of cheese?
Cheese fish.
It's like you're so... Hello, friend, the Family Guy foreigners.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Have you tried my fish made of cheese, friend?
Last night during we had a date. We're going to talk about Valentines, actually. And I decided to take Austin on a stand-up comedy show about Valentine's Day.
Which it's worth pointing out that stand-up has long been one of my favorite sort of nights out. I've gone a million times. I've seen famous people. I've seen unknowns. I've gone to like festivals. I really love stand-up. But I got out of the habit and haven't been in 5 years, 6 years, something like that. I used to go all the time. And then you were never into it. And in the last 2, 3, 4 months, you've kind of binged like every Netflix special by every comedian. We went and saw, what's her name?
Melissa.
No, live. We went saw live. She was workshopping her Netflix special.
Eliza.
Yeah, Eliza. Yeah. Like, what is it? Schlesinger or something like that?
Something like that on Netflix. Yeah, she has like 5 Netflix specials.
Yeah, the one that's the most recent. We saw her do a workshop presentation of her most recent Netflix special, which was really cool. In a very small venue. There's a tiny comedy club in Burbank called Flappers, which is a lot smaller than even the normal, like, small, intimate ones like the Improv. And anyway, so it's very cool that rapidly this thing has gone from a thing you didn't know anything about and probably didn't care much about to now planning a date night where you were like, hey, this is the address we're going to go to, and didn't even tell me in advance what it was. I didn't know what we were going to until essentially right before, which is fun. So anyway, yes, that's my preface.
That was the plan, yeah. And all this story because I just needed to say that after the show, I was feeling hungry, and I offered to go for cheese sticks.
Oh, that was the point of this?
Yes.
That's so funny. Yeah, you couldn't remember. In fairness, neither of us could remember for the life of me. You were trying to think of mozzarella sticks, like you would get it like Bennigan's, or we ended up going to IHOP, and of course didn't even get them. We were like, an omelet, a midnight omelet. That's what I feel like right now.
We'll never do that anymore.
Yeah, we paid the price, but mozzarella sticks is a classic sort of like Midwest. You know, you go to a place like Applebee's or TGI Fridays, and you get fried mozzarella sticks.
Yeah,
that was what you were like. What is the cheese? You know, the sticks with cheese.
The sticks made of cheese. They fried, and they're just cheese sticks. And I kept saying that. You were like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It felt like you were describing something I've never heard of, and then when I realized it was something so normal, it was funny. That kind of thing happens all the time. That happened once with Amin, my friend Amin, who's from Jordan. He's lived in America since he was 13. It's not like he's a recent immigrant, but this would happen every now and again. And one time we were fixated for like 30 minutes on the scene from Once Upon a Time in America, where the boy goes and gives the little treat he goes to give the treat to the girl, and then before she answers the door, he ends up eating it all himself because he can't stop himself. And it's like this wonderful scene of childhood innocence. And he could not think of the word cupcake to save his life. And
oh my God.
I didn't know what he was like. He kept saying, the scene, the boy, he has the pastry, it has cream, and something about the way he was described. I always tell the story. It makes his accent sound so extreme. He's like, the pastry. It doesn't sound like that at all. But it was so damn funny. Just desperate, and then finally at the end of it realized cupcake was the word and felt so stupid. So we had a little bit of that last night.
I guess. I just
like if it was something really exotic, if you were like, these like those, these like creme de menthe marzipan pastries from this specific bake or whatever.
Oh, shut up! I'm not like that. I'm a very simple person. I just needed cheese sticks. That's all. After a good comedy show, I felt like, this is very fitting. This is our romantic date tonight.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning that it was also an outdoor comedy show, which is not that common, and it was freaking freezing.
Yep.
We were both pretty damn.
It was so cold that the venue where, besides offering alcohol and stuff, drinks, they also had an option to rent a heater.
Yeah, little like propane-powered portable space heaters.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah,
I never saw that one before. At least not at a comedy club.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at a concert venue, kind of like at a Hollywood Bowl kind of place, maybe. But in any case, it got me thinking, though, specifically on the whole brushes and keys, art and music. Something that's interesting apropos Valentines that I'm curious your thought on is, it seems like last night all the comedians, some of them didn't really do any kind of bits about Valentines, but the ones that did, as is pretty much always the case, was about like the ways in which they are dysfunctional in relationships, or how they're dealing with a breakup, or like, I don't know how to be a good girlfriend or boyfriend, all that kind of stuff. It's always about like the fucked up side of love, basically. Right. And it made me think, like you mentioned how you really liked the Melissa, the girl, for her kind of general wholesomeness, as opposed to the much more sort of unwholesomeness of most stand-up comedians.
Yeah.
But even within that, she still was talking about how, like, when I do karaoke, I sing like Jackson 5 songs and make myself very unappealing to like guys at the bar. So even in her kind of cute wholesomeness, it was still, I'm terrible at love, and we're all gonna die alone, and that's kind of like what a lot of comedians. Yep. And it got me thinking: is it? Obviously, it's funny, but it made me question why that is. Like, it made me wonder.
You can't find humor in a perfect relationship.
But I mean, yes, of course, if any relationship was perfect. But I just thought, if it's amazing how it seems like there's just very little wiggle room for good humor on like a great relationship. Like, you can find, it's fascinating, isn't it, that dysfunction is almost, because it got me thinking about art in general, like with regard to painting and music. Like, there's not exactly a lot of great songs or great operas or theater or great paintings about like, isn't love so nice? It's always about like the destructive power of it, right, and how painful it can be, and how, like, it seems like this thing that we all yearn for, all our art is about, like all of civilization's art is about how toxic it is.
Yeah, that makes me remember once I quoted of course, The Simpsons, one of the very first episodes where Homer tells to Moe, like, I wonder why the stories of degradation makes people famous, or something like, I can't remember exactly how he phrased it. And Moe's like, because they do. and that's the end of the episode. They do. So I mean, yeah, like for example, when you somebody, I don't know, analyzing a movie and they find a solution of the movie before all the drama happens, yes, we could do that, but what is the purpose of doing that? Like, we are excited to see the drama as spectators instead of just seeing like an easy way as an easy solution for everything. I don't know if I'm making myself clear here.
Yeah, of course you are, definitely. But that's not quite what I'm... Like, of course, yes, if there's no drama, there's no conflict. But it's interesting how, like, romantic comedies, where they get together in the end and everyone's happy, tend to be seen as, like, oh, that's very commercial, that's cheesy. But if you think of, like, high art, where people are like, no, I'm making something for the ages. You know, I want to, like, you know, like The Last of Us. It's always much more brutal. And it's fascinating that we've kind of seemingly decided. I just hadn't really thought about it in quite so crystalline terms until we were talking about doing an episode about Valentine's Day. That like even just that idea is presumed to be cheesy, and therefore won't be artful. You know, like if you wanted to make a painting about someone in love, and you thought, I want this to be something that's genuinely powerful, but it's about like the best aspect of love. It seems like the first thing that comes to mind is, well, I suppose they could be old people. You could make like a painting about, you could sort of just sort of show that, you know, they've like endured their scars together or something. So it's like we still need some kind of pain and some kind of drama.
I guess in the art world, yes. As an audience, and I don't know, an art show, I don't find myself interested on a piece that's like just that, you know, like life is simple, life is happy. I will say, if the piece is good, I will say, oh, that's cute. But none of that will make me feel like, oh, holy shit, this is a strong message.
Interestingly, that was part of the idea for Flow. Remember the little tagline of life could be simple, where it was like, why not make a game that's just pleasant?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's fascinating. I think it's like, yes, of course, great storytelling requires some kind of conflict and drama. If there isn't any, it's, you know, but it's fascinating that even just the idea of the happy ending, the romantic, you know, boy meets girl or whatever, the couple ends up together. You think of, okay, yeah, that's like a Jennifer Aniston romantic comedy, or a what was that woman who was in 100 of those kinds of movies, like the Dresses movie. What was it called? 27 Dresses.
Oh yeah, her. I don't know any names. You know me.
I'm blanking on her name.
I'm always blanking on everyone.
Katherine Heigl. Katherine Heigl. All those, you know, woman falls in love movies. That is practically a whole subgenre.
I don't hate them, but they don't. It's just nice to see. That's all. Nice to watch.
It just makes me wonder if anyone has even attempted, if it even conceptually makes sense that there could be something of the level of serious filmmaking like The Last of Us applied to a story like that.
I don't think that is possible. I think it's gonna end up in the Hallmark Channel anyway.
See, that's the thing. I'm the kind of guy that goes, anyone that tells me something in the world of art is impossible, I immediately become obsessed with figuring out how to do it, because
but that is just perception. You know, it could be different from the others, but if it's the same recipe, I will say, oh, it's the same as the others.
Yeah, I mean, that's always the problem. I guess see, that implies a different problem.
It's not a problem. It's
formulaic.
Just, you know, it's just...
Well, a different factor. The idea that if something is formulaic, we think it's cheesy because it's formulaic. But because you can have a formulaic action film, a formulaic drama, and they'll all get an output of like, okay, it's cheesy or it's generic.
You know what's
that's
generic?
where I'm like, if
getting married yesterday.
On Valentine's, yeah.
Yeah. I saw somebody I know get
or
married
proposed.
Yesterday. Oh, yes. Or their anniversary. Also, I saw somebody else's like, happy anniversary. Yes, you're so original. Congrats.
Yeah, exactly. And it's especially one where, I'm not one of those like down with the corporations kind of guy. But I mean, come on, let's face it. Valentine's Day is basically made to sell chocolates and
I love
flowers
that.
And
give me some.
But
that's all I need.
That stuff's all well and good. But the idea that like you would put a really important day in your life on a thing that is basically like it's sort of corporate designed. That's a very funny idea to me. But to each their own, as we say.
I love the episode on The Simpsons that they like 3 seconds after the episode. We know that it's Valentine's Day, and then the next day they're like tossing all the trash, all the decorations and the plushies and everything is on the trash, and it's like this big can of garbage, love garbage.
Yeah, or the one where they go, we need another one. We had good results with Christmas too. They go, yeah, we need another Valentine's. How about Love Day, but better? And they go, is Love Day fine with everybody? Yeah, okay, yeah, we're just gonna go with Love Day.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
and it's true. It definitely feels like a bit of a thing. But
and for the record, I consider myself cheesy. I'm just not that cheesy. Like I could be cheesy. I could be, I think some of those things are cute. But yeah, some people just cross the line so hard that I can't keep up with that. It's just too much for me.
Agreed. But in any case, that was the only thing I wanted to mention was just this. I know you asked people's comments, and I want to make sure we don't ignore those. But yeah, I found myself just sitting here going, because we're gonna go see The Marriage of Figaro, which is very much a kind of opera, a soap opera, a lot of characters. He said what, rumors, that kind of thing. Opera. I've seen it once before, years ago. We're going to go see it soon with the LA Opera, and as usual, it's like The Marriage of Figaro. It is exploring the very melodramatic and soap opera aspects of love, and especially most operas that involve love, especially in that classic like 19th century model, they're so often boiled down to like someone making a pact with the devil or some kind. Not this one.
I don't know what's about.
That is, I'm saying they often have that kind of thing where there's a certain amount of like heightened.
This is exactly what I was saying. I immediately felt interested when you mentioned the devil. I felt like, ooh, but then before that, you were like talking about marriage, and I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's so fascinating. If I wanted to just write a piece of music that's just the sound of love, like an orchestral piece, to feel like a serious piece of music, it would have to explore the pain of love more than the, which is just so, it feels so strange to me. It's like, why have we collectively decided that? I reject that. I want to. That's
the entertainment industry, baby. That's
it's more than the entertainment. It's art. It's culture. It goes way beyond the industry.
You know what I mean. That's how it works. To hook you on something, there has to be struggle. There has to be pain.
Well, in any case, what kind of pain did people share with?
Not much, actually. There's a lot of happy people around. So
that's cool.
I asked on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and basically we were like, how do you spend yesterday? What do you get? Some people will share pictures with their loved ones. Somebody Alex Sandlands was skiing. Sounds
so dramatic, like they're soaring through the cosmos.
No. Skiing with her, and share a picture of both of them in a very white environment and white trees and all super snowy, and I'm so jealous. I want to do that. I want to touch the snow first off, but I want to learn how to, snow sports. Probably the board sandboarding because skiing sounds so dangerous.
Snowboarding.
To me. Snowboarding. I did the sandboarding.
Yeah. Same principle.
Christina Gore said, alone in bed with a cold, sadly. I had a couple of good friends send messages of love, though, so I had them too. And that's very nice. I didn't message any friend. I was going to message Andrea, actually, but I forgot.
Aww.
Well, I sent messages to Andrea. To Nella and Sebas. But yeah,
it's funny. I've never been that guy for the idea of messaging a friend on Valentine's Day feels funny to me. I would never do that. If I know it's their birthday, I'll message them. And that's a toss up if I remember or if I'm aware of it. And then otherwise, it's like maybe around the holidays, like Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year's, I'll just send someone a little like, hey, have a good holiday season kind of thing. I like to send those messages because most people take that time off work and are on vacation or chilling. But otherwise, the idea of wishing someone a Valentine's is I did get one yesterday from a friend, which was very sweet. But see, that's cool because they don't expect it. They expect the other half to message, but not a friend. So I think that's sweet. I think it's different. I don't know. Well, you know how there's a holiday now, like 365 days, or like today is like happy coffee cup day kind of thing. Like there's just, that's going to be I'll just set a little reminder for one of the really random ones. And then I'll message everybody I know on a very personal message on that day. Like today is, June 5th, happy, pillow day or something. And I'll send everybody I know a very personalized pillow day message.
I love that. Mr. Duckmeat said, didn't get anything per se, but I did give out some chocolate bars to my classmates and friends. I think that's very sweet. That will probably be me. I used to make little packages for friends, like whenever we gathered or something, and there was like something happening, something special. I did that a few times, and but just because I'm I'm a stationary freak, so I like to do that kind of thing because I don't know, the process of making cards or stuff like that, and just
I guess that's the same
piece of chocolate. It's
nice. The same reason why you, for your Patreon backers, you always do such a wonderful, like with your wax seal stamps on the envelopes and
for prints. Yeah, I like to seal the prints with wax seal and do certificates and all. And
you got a little stamp for your wax seals that's like your initials and stuff. Like it's
I meant one.
It's really quite fancy.
Thank you.
But it's very old world. There's a specific term that I wish I could remember
I'm
right
an
now.
Old soul. That's true. I am stuck in the past.
Without a doubt. But there's a term for somebody who has kind of an appreciation for the handwritten note. I remember Michael Gunn always used to use this term because he's very much that way as well. No, it's a very specific. It's like saying connoisseur, but it means very specifically somebody who wants to do things by hand, write a handwritten letter. There's a specific term for that, and it's driving me nuts, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh no, I want to know. Reading some Instagram responses, we spoiled the hell out of our little girls. Candy and flowers galore. Bed early because of work, starting at 5 a.m., but play guitar and circus show tonight. Ooh, that's interesting.
Started at 5 a.m. for Valentine's?
Yeah. Sounds
that's
like
quite the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's treating it like it's this seminal holiday. I don't know that I've ever met anybody that was like, okay, we got to be up with the sun.
Bike trip and ice creams. Nice. Box of ice cream while watching Physical 100 on Netflix. I have no idea what's that.
No, I don't either.
All right. But that's good. Ice cream and Netflix.
Sounds like people took an actual holiday.
Yeah. Wrote the music for an orchestral album and got barbecue with fellow singles. That's awesome.
Sounds like me at an alternate timeline where I'm not with you.
Went on a more or less date. First ever on V-Day for me. And I feel there's a chance for more after years of loneliness. Best V-Day ever. That's cool. That's congrats. Nice. Playing The Witcher 3. That was the last response on Instagram. And here I got some on Facebook as well.
Witcher 3, man, talk about a game that just never seems to go out of popularity. It's just like still right at the forefront.
Yeah. Somebody got Howard's Legacy. That's awesome. I wonder how that game is. I don't think I'm gonna play it, but mostly because I think it's too big for me. I'm not sure.
Big giant open world games, you gotta I pick carefully basically. They're so they take forever.
Somebody says nothing. I did my bags and I'm gonna go to Iceland.
Wow.
For the record, I'm reading Spanish messages.
Ah.
Somebody spent the day at work. Somebody got flowers, some family time, flowers and chocolates, marshmallows. Nothing because forever alone, but I got myself food. Adri got a mattress, a new mattress. That's excellent.
That
nice
sounds very
choice.
Saucy as a Valentine's Day call out.
Yeah. She obviously she's like, to sleep, very comfy and all that, but I'm putting that aside just to make her look like she's more she's scheming some plan. Best February 14 ever. I got something that I was looking for years and I got it for myself. Awesome. Chocolates. Nothing. I got hemorrhoids.
That sounds like they had a really potentially intriguing Valentines.
Somebody was like, did we have to give something? I don't remember anymore.
Yep.
Stickers. Tulips. Oh, that's so nice. I love tulips. Exercise and free day of work. Somebody's working on their wedding. And yeah, that's basically just, a lot of like chocolate and flour and family time and spending time with loved ones. That's the general vibe that I see among our listeners.
That's all very nice. I was hoping that someone would surprise us with something
well, somebody
super
got
left field. Well, okay, yeah, one person definitely hit us with an original, like, here's not your normal Valentines. So A+ for them, and everybody else, glad you had a normal Valentine's. We enjoyed freezing our asses off listening to stand-up comedians, and it was very good. Part of the fabulous eclecticism that is living in Los Angeles, that one day you go to see stand-ups and drink, and the next night you go to the opera, and then, God knows what else is next. So,
yeah.
I guess a little bit short this time, but there's our little Valentine's hello special to everybody.
Do you have any album of the day? I didn't collect any.
Yeah. I didn't think of it. I was borking and had zero ability to stop and think about it.
So many. It's probably, 90% of music in the world is about love. How come we don't have an album of the day?
Well, they're all about heartbreak. They're all about...
That's good. That's what sells.
Yeah, I get clearly. It's like Taylor Swift, by age 22.
We're not recommending Taylor Swift in this podcast.
Oh, I got respect for Taylor Swift.
I don't.
But I do think it's very funny that, at such a young age, song after song after song about breakup, whereas that's a lot to fixate on at such a young age.
Because that's what she does. That's her whole life. It's
funny. How about, since I mentioned it earlier, I'll say Ennio Morricone's music to Once Upon a Time in America because of its extreme beauty and romance, specifically young love, and how innocent and beautiful.
All right.
Uh-oh. Canvas wants to spend time with you now because we neglected her on Valentine's Day.
We did.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. We'll be back to discuss more heartbreak and pain and the intersection of art with music.
Do you want to break up so we can make more interesting music and art.
Yeah, it's full misery and terror.
Yeah.
Documented all here. It's worth considering.
Yeah, why not?
The perfect Valentine's Day send-off.
Okay, thank you all for listening. This is our little Valentine special. Thank you for your comments on social media. And, for the record, we are going to give away another microphone. Another Brushes and Keys microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to make a post this week. And just keep an eye on our social media if you want to win it for your streaming or recordings or whatever you do. It's really pretty and yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, excellent. Thank you all and goodbye.
Bye.